how's it going? I'm James P. White. This is the Bald and Short of It podcast. Obviously, that is Chris Mooney. And as I said, Bald and Short of It podcast. I'm short. He's bald. He's older than me. And,
Had
even
to
though,
get that out of the
even,
way.
even though today is my birthday, you're still older. Um,
Oh, you stole it from me. I was about to say happy birthday, buddy.
I just wanted to make sure that our listeners know that even though I'm 51, you're a lot older than me.
A lot.
Um,
Also, I'm surprised that we're saying it now on the 18th that it's your birthday because aren't you one of the guys that go, "It's my birthday month"? Like, shouldn't we have been celebrating 18 days ago?
Actually, no, I'm not that guy. Uh, funny thing, uh,
You said birthday
this
month. You fucking said birthday month sometime like in the last 2 weeks.
no, I did
Okay.
because when we went to the brew house, we went to the brew house. The nachos that we got that I got for free,
Yeah.
you have to redeem during your birthday month, so the month of November. So that's the only time I made reference to it.
So you're not like
That's I'm
you're
I'm
not
not
like
one
a
of these ones. Yeah, I have friends,
like
daughters.
where do you get the ball celebrating your anniversary on my birthday month? Where do you get the balls? It's not your
Yeah,
birthday month, it's my birthday. Yeah.
yeah, but yeah. Uh, other than that, we got Chris Mooney, and I'm 51 today. And like this time last year, exactly right now, I would have been in Cabo San Lucas last year on a
Yeah,
trip
you
with my
you
mom.
you guys went on a cruise, right?
Yeah. Then I came back and I got shit canned from the radio station.
Well, look at that. Um, it's like, hey, welcome to your 50s. You're fired.
Yeah. Actually, that's pretty much what it was. You know, have a nice life. Uh,
Yeah.
everybody
Well,
was wishing me happy birthday.
you got a
Everybody
little,
was wishing me a happy birthday. And then see ya.
yeah, happy birthday. See you.
Yeah.
You got a little distinguishing gray there too coming up.
I what the gray in the middle here?
Yeah,
I've
yeah.
had that. That's been I've that's been showing up over the last year, and it's
I
just a
know.
strip. It's just a strip right down the middle. It's almost like a skunk line.
Yeah,
It's
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 kind of
like
crazy.
if people couldn't tell from smelling you, they know from looking at you.
Hey,
Speaking of your
when you
hair, yeah, that's ridiculous how fast your hair grows. And like I'm proposing that you take it down to the wood. Like it
it,
looks like you it looks
it's
like you're trying to
it's
rock a
winter.
little Movember thing there too.
Oh yeah,
And
I always grow the mustache out in November.
I think that if you took it down to the wood with the mustache, like that would be a badass look.
But why
Like
when
think
I
about
have
it.
such but why when I have such thick hair? Why would I shave it when it's gonna get cold outside?
Well, you ever it's not that cold yet. And the way your hair grows, it'll be fine in a couple days. Not to mention, yet a fella could wear a toque. Like maybe you could
I
have
don't,
like I don't
but
have a choice. How about solidarity? How about that?
I'm not into solidarity of hair. I think anyone who believes in solidarity of hair, unless someone has, like they shave their hair for someone with cancer, that's something totally different. But just because you're a bald ass fucker doesn't mean I have to shave my head. Um,
Oh, it
you can
doesn't
get
mean
hair. You can start doing hair club for men. You can get implants. You can get a toupee. There's multiple things you could do to have be solidarity with men with hair. Why do I have to change my life for you? You could
I don't
change your,
know.
get a toupee. You look great in a toupee.
I was a big proponent of like dwarfism awareness, and I feel like I'm an ally. If you don't feel the same way about my community, then I guess the conversation ends there. You know what? If
Huh.
if if I didn't have the horseshoe, I would still shave my head. So it would be like it's like Mooney, you got a hair transplant. Why are you still bald? Because it's fucking easy, man. wash and wear. You never worry about anything being out of place. It's beautiful. I'm,
Uh,
I don't, yeah, of all the bad things or of all the things that could happen to you biologically speaking, that's one I don't regret.
I I prefer having hair. That's
Yeah, well, like I said, that shit grows like fucking, it's ridiculous, man.
it's not. It's slowing down as I'm getting older because it was like I shaved it to the wood 2 months ago, so that's only 2 months hair growth.
That's ridiculous. If my grass grew like your hair, I'd be mowing it every day. But anyway, we'll get back on point here. Like, take it down to the wood. Trust me, especially when that duster comes in. Like, you look like a badass, man. Like, I want to solve crimes with you.
Okay, I'm not. Let's. I'm not shaving my head. Uh,
Oh, maybe we'll have to have a
okay.
sleepover, and I'll do it while you're asleep.
I sleep with a knife under my pillow, just so you know. Um, what? Let's do a quick discussion of our week.
Yeah, well, I didn't. My week was fairly uneventful. Like, and I'm actually kind of buckle up for a long one because it's been a while since I sat down and chatted with folks. Because usually you go to the saloon or whatever, and you're talking to guys, and like Andrew and I went to Sherbrooke to watch the Oiler game on Saturday, and but you're watching the game, so you're not really talking a lot, and then I went to Sherbrooke again on Sunday to watch the Grey Cup, and again, you're kind of watching the game. I mean, there's a little more conversation, but I haven't had a deep dive since last week with you here. And then after that podcast last week, we went to Brewhouse.
Yeah, that
And
was
that
fun.
was good.
We watched the hockey game.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun. I yeah, so my week was pretty pedestrian except for uh my scooter that was stolen from my garage. Like, I didn't mention it on the cast here because, like, who gives a shit about my problems, frankly? Like, nobody wants to hear it, but it's a really great story how we got it back. So I can save that for later. Let's hear about what you've been up to, because I haven't seen you since.
Let's hear about the scooter quick.
Okay, well, 2 weeks ago, Andrew was going to work about 7:30 in the morning, and we have an automatic garage door, and on the panel there's a little switch where you can go lock. Um, which we discovered later only means that if somebody has a remote outside, or if you even press it, it doesn't open because the motor is locked. But it doesn't mean that your fucking garage door is secured. So um, Andrea went out to work like 2 weeks ago, Monday morning at 7:30, and the garage door is open about 3 feet, and it's disabled. And I had two electric scooters in my garage. One was a brick. It is a Segway 9 bot, and I could have activated it um, if I wanted to download the app, but I don't like putting Chinese apps on my stuff, so I just. And then I got a really nice one. It's about $1,700. It's an Apollo Go. It goes up to about 50 kilometers an hour, and it's got an app and all this shit. It's pretty fancy. I got a good deal on that too. I got it off Kijiji from a guy, and it only had like 50 kilometers on it. So anyway, I love it. Use it all summer. Great. It gets stolen. So the right away, I on my app I report it stolen, which means that, like, if anybody tries to access the app, it automatically disables the scooter, makes it inoperable. The brakes automatically engage. It can do nothing with it. So I did that right away on the app. Um, Obviously secured the garage door. Andrew went to work, and I filed an online police report. Um, Thinking, like, well, we'll see what happens. I have the serial number and all that stuff. So really, the only thing I could hope for was that somebody tried to access the app and I would get more information. And other than that, I mean, it's like if someone takes it to a pawn shop and they get the serial number and they can find it that way. But most crooks aren't that dumb. But the worst thing about that shit is like you feel violated. Like that's my personal property. This is my house. Like you're tempted to wait in your garage with like a fucking gun because I just the whole idea of somebody like coming and taking your stuff. I mean, what the fuck, man? Like, big fan of Castle Doctrine over here. Anyway, um, yeah. So it was about a week. It was the Saturday night, Sunday morning. So like about a week after, 6 days after it was stolen. I woke up Sunday morning, and on my phone I got an email from Apollo Scooters, which is the manufacturer, that somebody had accessed the thing. So now I know the scooter's a brick. They can't use it. It's inoperable. It's locked. And right away, like I get up, I call the non-emergency cop line, and they just said, now I'm thinking, like, if that's me and I stole a scooter and I know it's inoperable, I'm like throwing it at a dumpster and running away. Because, I mean, there's not nothing you can do about it except get caught. So I think there's some urgency attached to it. So I reach out to them Sunday morning. They go, "Oh well, your police report you filed online, and you have to do it through them." So I had to wait till 8 a.m. the next morning because they're only open 8 to 4 Monday to Friday. And then I talked to somebody, and they said, "Oh well, the police will be, or we'll get some guys in touch with you in 2 to 3 days." And this is on Monday morning last week. So that night, somebody else tried to access it. So we got another email address. And I'm waiting, and I'm not doing anything because they said someone's going to be in touch. And I'm like, okay, well, I'll give the cops the email address. They'll track the guy down. They'll get my scooter back. Well, nope. Friday comes along. I hadn't heard from anybody. So I called them. And the lady, like, they were not helpful at all. It was brutal, man. And the lady, the lady goes, "Oh, well, if unless you have a name, there's nothing we can do about it." And I'm like, so I have to go and find out where the name is. Like, you have an email address. I'd like to think that you guys. I wasn't being a dick, but that's what I was thinking. And and she goes, "Yeah, I need a name." So I'm like, "Well, fuck, if I had the name, I'd go to the guy's house with a baseball bat." Like, um, anyways, I talked to Andrea about it, and I'm like looking up at our insurance, and our fucking deductible is $2,000. It went up from 1,500 to $2,000 in July, so I got to pay 2 grand to get my $1,700 and $1,000 scooter back. It's like, fuck off. Like, um,
How
so
is the
there's,
deductible higher than the actual worth of the item?
mm, well, it's a good question, Jimmy, and let me answer. Like, it's basically insurance. It's like if somebody steals your stereo or somebody comes in and steals your computer, they don't want a million claims of shit like that happening. Or like outdoor shit, maybe your doorbell, who knows, right? They don't want all those claims. So it's kind of more like if your house burns down or, like your basement floods and you're looking at tens of thousands of dollars, that 2 grand you're happy to pay. So basically that deductible um,
Is to
helps the
stop
insurance.
people
Yeah,
from claiming small items?
yeah, basically. So like my insurance for my house is worth 2,000 to 1.5 million. But anything below 2,000, fuck you, Mooney. So I was talking to Andrea about it, and she goes, "Well, do you want me to email the guy, the second guy who tried it?" And I'm like, "Well, I don't really want that because I don't want, like, there's lots of implications there." And she goes, "You know what? I'm going to do it." So I'm like, "Okay, well, be careful, sweetheart, blah, blah, blah." And then she came home from work Friday. That was last Friday. And she goes, I got the guy's name. And she'd been emailing him back and forth. And this fucking guy is like, "Well, it's not me. My friend bought it from a homeless guy for $400. They didn't think it was stolen." I'm like, "Yeah, right." And then he also did the old well, my friend's out $400. I mean, I could give it to you, but like they're gonna be upset. They're gonna have to get some money for their trouble. I'm like, our house was just fucking robbed, asshole. Like, this is the string of emails that were going back and forth between this guy and Andrea. And I'm fucking pissed off. And like she showed it all to me. And uh I was like, thank God you're doing it, because she was so nice. Like even when he said shit like that, she's like, "Oh, I'm really sorry about that." Just like the most patient in the world, and I think that's a big reason why the dialogue continued because Andrea was so friendly and like apologetic and shit.
Because if it was you, you would have said, "Fuck you, my house was broken into. I'm not giving you
Mhm.
freaking money."
Yeah, like as diplomatic as I'd like to think I am, I don't think I'd be able to keep my
I
cop.
don't know if I'd
Stop
throw
talking.
uh, I don't know if I'd throw diplomatic in your character description.
Anyways, uh, I said to Andrea, "Well, we got a name now. We should call the cops." So we did, and the person I talked to said, "We'll give your information to an officer in the area." We gave him the email address, the name of the person, and so the next morning the cops called us, and the conversation was evolving between Andrea and this other guy, and to the point where we were communicating with the cops and the guy, and Andrea and this fella had reached an agreement that we would meet him at Belvedere Station to pick up the scooter with $250 to get it back. And then the guy emailed her back and said, "Well, why don't you come to my house or come to my building? Call me like around 4, and I'll bring it down." So we're communicating with the cops the whole time. And Andrea said, "Okay, well, my boyfriend will be there. He'll call you around 4 if he sees it," because the cop said, "Well, we can't do anything unless we see the scooter." So she emailed the guy and said, "Well, if he sees it, he'll come out of his car and give you the money." So we gave all that information to the cops, and the cops came. Um, the cops go, "Okay, we'll handle it. We'll let you know what happens." And so I texted the cop, really, really nice guy, because he was like, "That's not even in our jurisdiction. I got to talk to my supervisor." And I said, "You know what? I don't want to give you his name or anything. Just a really nice guy." And I'm like, "You know what? You know about what's going on. You know the whole deal. I mean, we're comfortable dealing with you. We hope that after you talk to your supervisor, like that he decides that you guys should go." And that was before we did the 4 o'clock thing. But he got back to me and said, "Yeah, we got permission to go." And so um, yeah, after that, about half an hour later, I got a picture from the cop by a text of my scooter in the back of the cruiser. And I'm like, "Oh my God, you guys fucking did it. Like, it's so awesome." And I was talking to Andrea before about it. And I said, "Well, there's two things that I want. I'm like, obviously, I want my scooter back, but I want the motherfuckers that broke into my house, like, like to pay for this. Like I don't like money. I'm talking about like uh, charged or
Yeah,
whatever, punished."
yeah, punish.
And
Yeah.
anyways, so they brought the scooter to our house. We invited them in. I was like shaking their hands. I'm like, "Thanks, fellas." Like I was so happy, and I'm like, I told them, I got to tell you though, I'm a little disappointed that you bigfooted my op because I set this all up. Like, but it's not about credit for me. They got a laugh out of that. I'm like, it's not about credit for me. So if you want to Bigfoot my op, whatever, buddy.
uh,
But no,
was it your op or was it Andrea's op? Because from the sound of it, she did all the work and you're taking the
I
credit.
just, you know what? Like, just leave it alone, okay? Just
Like, oh no, yeah, my op. Oh yeah, Andrea did all of it. You said I don't know if you really should, and so she should. It was her op. Like she was the muscle behind it. You were just there.
well, I was directing things in the background. Um,
You
Andrea
told her
played.
not to do it.
No, I had reservations. She's my girlfriend. She played the role of diplomat. I was running things in the background, coordinating with the
Okay.
Edmonton's finest. Like I'm just saying, like it was my op. Not too happy that I got bigfooted. I mean, the results were
Yeah.
nice, but again, it's not about the praise. So
I don't think you're gonna get like the key to the city or anything for this big bus that you set up for the scooter
yeah.
ring. Um,
So, anyways, when they came in, we were talking, and the guy goes, "Yeah." So they got access to the building. I think they knew what floor the guy was on. So they called him and they were on the floor in like the fire, like the stairs or whatever, because there's an elevator, and they were watching, and the guy left his unit and went down the hall to another one and grabbed it and was on his way down, and that's when they grabbed him. And the best part is, um, they charged him with possession of stolen property, um, trafficking in stolen property, and extortion. And they also put an order on against him so that he couldn't contact Andrea. Obviously, like I wouldn't be surprised if we got a brick through our window, but still, it turned out really well. I mean, yeah, I got my scooter back. I
I
unlocked
don't
it.
think they'd be able to find where she lives.
Yeah, I don't know, man. You're right. I hope you're right. I mean, all they have from her is an email address, so who knows?
Yeah, and she can block them.
Hmm.
And if they do harass her via email, she can send those emails to the cops. So
Oh yeah, for sure. And he'd be in breach, obviously. Um, but I'm just saying, like, if the guy did know and they threw a brick, like, you don't know who did that, whatever. Anyway, it doesn't matter. The point is that the cops couldn't have been nicer. The guy was so forthcoming and friendly, he and his partner, and like we were very appreciative, obviously too. And I think maybe like if you're, I guess they're in uniform, so I don't think they're detectives or anything. And I just think that probably for them, a regular day, this is probably one of those days where you're like, hey, I really made a difference today, instead of like passing out tickets or doing whatever they do, right? So
yeah,
anyway, for all of the bullshit that I had to deal with and them not calling me back and everything, like we got put in touch with a couple of really great constables that were very helpful and very empathetic, and obviously got the job done, even though it was my op. So all's well that ends well, I guess.
yeah, you're off.
So
I'm
that
just looking.
happened.
Okay, I was just looking it up because when you said that they weren't detectives because they were wearing uniforms, I wasn't sure if that was the same here in Canada, because we're taking our knowledge of what they're wearing uniforms or not, and plain clothes is the same in Edmonton as it or in Canada as it is in the States
Yeah, like
for
you would
detectives.
detectives, yeah, or like yeah, or undercover. Like if a
Yeah.
guy like in the trade we call it UC, and yeah, so you know, but
Oh yeah, you and your years of crime fighting. Um,
Hey, I've been watching procedural cop dramas since you were. However, I know how things work. It was my op. We got
okay,
the perp.
so
We got the
you
perp.
got the perp. Uh, so
But I can't say.
that was
I gotta tell you, I can't say enough about how Andrea handled it. She was wonderful, and yeah. I mean, like we went and watched the game on Saturday. I bought her dinner and was really grateful for all that she did to get that back for me.
yeah, she's a great lady.
Yeah,
You don't deserve her. She deserves somebody much better. Um, but so for me, my week was actually not a lot happened this week. Uh, you know, we were at Brew House on Monday night to watch the game. Had a lot of fun. Our buddy Johnny showed up. Um, but on Saturday, I went to this little bar in St. Albert. If you haven't been there, it's kind of cool. It's called Greasy Jane's, and it's if you walk in, everything is decorated. Like it's artwork everywhere. They have paintings on the walls. All their tables and furniture and everything are all decorated and painted, and like it's done by local artists and stuff. It's a real cool bar. A couple friends of mine, they were part of the live entertainment. Actually, my friend Kendra, her birthday was on the 15th. I actually have five friends that their birthdays are around this time of the month, like between the 14th and the 20th. I have a bunch of friends, but it's a common time to be born because it's exactly 9 months from
Valentine's Day.
Valentine's Day. And I pointed that out to my dad once, and he goes, and this was when I was an adult, and I pointed it out. We were drinking in the back, and he goes, "You know I'm cheap." So I was a Valentine's Day present. Yeah, I didn't get you anything, but and he used to say that, and like
Yeah,
he did,
he had a little something for your mom anyway.
yeah, I was a present, yeah, but
Well, my
he used
birthday's
to.
in August, and I have a lot of friends, like you probably do too. Like there's a lot of people that were born in August, and I'm thinking
Uh
Christmas, you know.
huh. And if it's towards the end of August, maybe
Well, no,
because
like what?
like Christmas is the 25th. So if you're gonna go 9 months from the 25th, it would be towards the end of August into September.
All right, thank you, Doctor Jimmy.
Okay, hey, that's what I'm here for. But yeah, I went to Gracie James. That was a lot of fun. It's a cool little bar. It's always packed in there, especially when they have live music.
Yeah,
Uh, and it's a cool little place. And another one thing that I'm starting to get annoyed by, and since you talked about your scooter thing, so I pay for Uber Plus, or like for because it gives you discounts on rides, and I take an Uber to work almost every week, and as part of it, and I didn't realize when I got it because you get discounts and stuff. But they've been upgrading my cars every time. So instead of getting an actual car, every time I get a frickin' SUV, which are harder for me to get. Oh, to give you more leg room, we upgraded your vehicle. I don't need leg room. I don't have legs. Like I'm a midget. Like I wanted to and if there was a way I could respond and go, yeah, don't upgrade the vehicle. Just keep me with a car. Like, but
yeah, that's the XL.
yeah, but I'm paying the normal price,
Yeah.
but I'm getting an XL, which I don't need. Like it's just me. Like
Well, like I actually, it's so funny you mentioned that because I was thinking that on Sunday, like a couple days ago when I went to the Grey Cup, like I Ubered and it was like a Chevy Equinox or something. And I was like, the last couple Ubers I took were kind of SUVs. And I like that. I can just slide in laterally. But if like I drive a truck, so like if it's anything lower than an SUV, I'm pissed off because I feel like I gotta contort myself to get in.
I prefer the little cars. Well, I'm a midget though, so
In fact, you're like 10 of us can ride in a VW bug.
50. Um, but yeah, other than that, it hasn't wasn't really that much of a week and stuff going on. But I need to have a conversation with you. I'm going to throw this in here.
Hang on quickly. I
So
just got to say, you know that Gracie James joint? I've been there
yeah,
before. You know Sasha, like the guy I was in a band with, like my last band.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, like I turned down a gig there because we were gonna play there, and that's kind of about the time that I didn't want to play with them anymore. So, because that's his local, like he lives nearby there, and
Yeah,
so
it's a cool little place.
it's got it's definitely unique, and it feels really warm and bright when you go there. I like it too.
Yeah, it's and the staff are awesome.
Yeah.
Gracie is awesome. She's such a nice lady. Um, and yeah, it's just a cool little place to go to. So today is Tuesday, and we usually do our podcast on Monday, but you were kind of busy yesterday. How do you feel about making our podcast every Tuesday rather than like Mondays? See, and let me explain why. Because I was at my cousin's this week, and she goes to a Bible study every Monday evening. and I want to start going to a Bible study or get involved in church a little bit here and there. And how are you feeling about us moving to Tuesdays
Yeah,
consistently?
I mean, I think we'd probably do more Tuesdays than Mondays anyway. So that
Yeah,
no,
so you're
no
cool with
skin
that?
off my teeth. Yeah, no, no, that's great. Good for you with the Bible study too.
Like I used to like back in the day when I used to work at the church in Tabor. No, it didn't work there. I just was. Uh, I helped the youth pastor, and I did sermons and stuff back in the day. But the I used to hold Bible studies, and I used to have fun with it, and it's something that I think I kind of want to get back in my life again. It's like I do have faith. We've talked about that
Yeah,
before
of course we have. Yeah,
about
you talked about your
and
work in Tabor.
and our faith, and I think having a little more activity with that in my life again is important. And so cool.
Good for
So
you,
yeah,
man. Like I got a question or two about that. Uh, um, yeah, like my parents, my dad particularly, they're devout Catholic. I grew up Catholic. Um, went to church every week till I moved out. Um, and like what my dad's done the Bible study thing before, and he's talked about it. So like give me like just give us a brief um description. So like you take a passage obviously from like is it Old Testament, New Testament, like and then
it's
just
the way I used to do a Bible study is kind of that like where you're focusing on a specific if you're when I used to do it with the youth group when I used to hold one for kids. I did it a little bit differently where it was kind of we'd have a topic and use Bible and verses from the Bible to kind of you know reinforce what the topic was,
yeah.
and stuff like that. But a lot of them they pick a specific book in the Bible and they go through it.
Yeah, like in Catholic um ritual, I guess, for lack of a better term, like a typical Catholic mass, really, no matter what time of year, even if you're there for Christmas, it goes through like, um, there's a certain order to it, and there's a first reading, which is like it's always from the New Testament, um, uh, first reading and second reading, and they're usually like the Psalms or like Paul's letters to the Corinthians or the like whomever. And then the gospel reading is from which the priest does is from the gospel, which is like Matthew, Mark, Luke, or John. And then the priest's homily typically centers around the themes of that gospel reading. So like the gospel reading might be like, the story of Jesus and Lazarus or whomever, like, and then the priest's homily centers around the symbolism behind what's behind that story or behind that gospel reading and how we can apply it to our daily lives and things like that. So I reckon that the Bible study would be somewhat akin to that, right?
A bit. That's usually like how we used to do ours. Like the our pastor used to do the sermons is kind of like that, but it was
Yeah,
like just going through and discussing like the whole like I remember one time we did the book of Matthew and we started at the very beginning about the like with dealing with the genealogy leading all the way up to you know and so we do like the first two books or two whatever chapters, so we
yeah,
go through that and going into the birth of Christ and all the way through like that. So we would, and sometimes people would mention a verse in the book of John that was very similar because they were all written at the same time. Because
not
if you
really,
like,
but
no, but ish, but it was dealing with the same stuff. It was through the eyes of Matthew, Mark, Luke, John. And so it was, some of the stories were similar but it was their perspective or their way of looking at it in those at that time.
I don't think I ever told you this, but I've always maintained an interest in um, theology, biblical studies. Like there's a gospel that's not in the Saint James in the Emperor Constantine approved New Testament. In fact, there are a number of them, like the Gospel of Saint Thomas, that are all dated around the same time, or at least have the same historical credibility as like Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, but are written with a different sort of context. And the Gospel of Saint Paul, for example, espouses or describes a Christ that whose message has a lot more to do with empowerment, personal empowerment, and less to do with fealty. And of course, if you're an emperor who's trying to establish a church to maintain control over your empire, you're probably not going to want to include that one in the New Testament. Um, and there's a lot of history behind that and a lot of really cool things to discuss. You and I'd have to do it inspired over a few beers and not bore people's time with it. But even Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, I think it's Matthew and Luke, um, or Mark and Luke, that are like almost exactly the same. And then John is quite a bit of a departure. Um, and
It,
a
it's
lot of it,
it's Matthew and Mark,
yeah,
Matthew,
Matthew and
Mark, Luke.
Mark, yeah. Luke was the surgeon, but Luke the apostle. But I don't think the Gospel of Luke was written by Luke the apostle. Like anyway, there's a lot to dig into, and I like I said, I majored a year in theology when I was in university, just out of pure interest, and yeah, that stuff still intrigues me, and you know, like it's history. I like to call it like it's like despite the fact that I grew up in a devout Catholic family, like I wouldn't call myself, uh, um, you know, fervently religious, but I'm definitely always interested in like religious history and like I call theology basically ancient sociology because religions are basically a way to guide societies and control people, like in a way, if you want to look at it from that perspective. So we'll leave it at that. But
Yeah, I think
I think Jimmy. Oh, there you go. You're back.
uh, someone was phoning me.
Oh,
So I know Paul had a huge influence over the first few books because he was friends with Luke. It says here that he was actually the a companion of Paul was a companion of Luke. So there was some
Saint
influence.
Paul is like the greatest salesman in the history of the world. He preached. He preached Christianity, I should say, like because I mean this is before any New Testaments and all that stuff. Um, he preached the good news, I guess, for lack of a better term, to like
To
many.
everyone who would listen.
Yeah, he was basically a conversion machine. I'm like, if I was like Xerox, I'm like, you know, and you came to head office, like there'd be plaques on the wall every month. It'd be Paul, you know,
Yeah. But yeah,
and you know, honestly, as a kid who went to church every week, my whole life growing up, there's a lot to be um, there's a lot to be gained by reading Paul's letters and Paul's contributions to the New Testament because um, you don't sell something sincerely unless you believe in it, and like his words of faith are very inspiring. So
yeah.
not for nothing.
Yeah, so that's just something that I want to do. I want to get, back into my life, get a little bit of normalcy, I guess. So that's why I want to get back into the Bible studies.
Good.
But okay, what were you going to say?
I'm saying that I would love if we discuss that in the future in upcoming episodes. No, it doesn't have to be half an
We
hour, but Just you
No,
can you
I can easily on like the upcoming episodes when when after the Bible study, I can kind of explain, like, I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but just, this is what we talked about. And
yeah, that's cool. Because I was gonna say, like, you could tell me what passage you're gonna study for that session, and I would read it, and you and I discuss it. But I'm not sure people would have a big appetite for that. It's probably better if you came in with the highlights. And
yeah,
yeah, sounds
yeah.
good to
And
me.
cause you talk enough as it is. If we give you more stuff to talk about, then it's going to become the Chris Mooney podcast. Um,
Well, that's the only thing that's been keeping us alive for 22 episodes. I mean, again, with the talent. So anyway, you're the
so
producer. What's
that
next?
was, that was my week. That was my week. Let's do sports. Keep it tight.
Yeah.
Keep it Oilers, Grey Cup.
All right. Grey Cup was a joke. Even at the bar, like, oh, they had Andrew and I were at Sherbrooke on Saturday, and Janet had the squares. They do the for the Grey Cup, and I actually, I don't know, I
So
don't,
you were
I bought
gambling. Yeah.
I bought I bought 20 squares at $2 a pop. So my name was like puked out over all the whole sheet, and I didn't win anything. So, um, but I had a good time. Paul was there. Paul.
Yeah.
Hung out with Paul, had nice chats. But like I remember when I was a kid, it was probably the same with you. When Super Bowl was happening, like my parents would either have people over and have a super, or it's not Grey Cup. My parents would have a Grey Cup party, or we'd go to some other family's Grey Cup party, and it was a big
Where
deal.
there was
Like,
snacks, where there was snacks all like all over the place. Like there
yeah,
was food for days.
yeah,
Oh
you'd
yeah.
be playing in the
I
basement
used,
with other kids, and the parents would be watching, and drunk people would pinch your cheeks and tell you you're cute, but it was like almost literally in the Canada that I knew. It was like literally every year for Grey Cup, and then I saw this, and um, I don't know. I mean, like uh, Burton Cummings and Randy Bachman are coming to Edmonton in June. I mean, Brian Adams is out there. There's so many Canadian artists, and then for their halftime show, they got Machine Gun Kelly. Like, someone really needs to
that
explain to me what the fuck that's like, how that pertains to Canadiana. But
that me, like, I didn't really watch it. We had it going on in the background, but me and my cousin Angie, we said the same thing. What does he have to do with Canada?
yeah,
Why could, like, a couple of years ago they had Shania Twain and she, I think that was in Montreal or something like that, and she
yeah.
was hammered, and she was hammered, and it was so funny. Um, and but yeah, like, why can't they keep Canadian artists
You know what
doing
I
Grey
don't
Cup?
get. You know what I don't get is that, or what the problem that I perceive it to be is that, like, the CFL as a whole wants to appeal to a younger demographic or whatever, and like um it's like if some kid tunes in at halftime because they like Machine Gun Kelly, they're not going to be watching the third fucking quarter. And if I'm going to be watching it with my son, I'm not dangling Machine Gun Kelly as a carrot so that he starts watching with me at the beginning of the game. Like, and it's incongruent. And if you go, like, if some kid ends up watching the game and then they hear Trooper at halftime, here for a good time, not a long time, or like any number of Canadian acts, like Tom Cochrane sings Big League, or like Bird, like Guess Who sings American Woman. That's far more Canadian than some jerk off like fucking American guy that like your existing audience doesn't know who this fucking guy is, and the people you're trying to appeal to, if they watch it all, are only going to watch this guy and then tune into whatever else they're doing after. So it's just stupid. But that's not my only criticism, and I'll try to keep it light, quick. But like the Grey Cup, and the way that I described it from growing up was literally Canada's Super Bowl, and it was a big deal. And
Yeah,
I was watching the pregame, like Tom fuckery, and I mean, and there's a time and place for everything, but we probably don't need 15 minutes of land acknowledgement and all that other stuff. But that's whatever. That's my opinion. But then they did the whole, um, like the cheer squads from each team dancing in the middle. And honest to God, like this is Canada's Super Bowl, and it looked like fucking high school football. Like I didn't mind Our Lady Peace. Like frankly, based on what I said already, like they could have done the halftime show. Like way, like they're Canadian, they're of a time in Canadiana. Um, but I mean the whole thing, and even the product on the field. Like Christ. Anyway, congratulations to the Rough Riders. Well deserved Grey Cup. Um, I was there. I
From
watched
what I
it.
saw, that was a pretty tight game at the beginning there. It was looking like they were going to come back, and
Yeah,
Montreal was.
you feel bad for Montreal. They fumbled the ball on the 1 yard line, and that sort of turned the game. I mean, that happens in game week 9. It's not a big deal. It happens to all of us, everybody, every player at one point or another. But for it to happen in the championship game, I feel bad. And I got a soft spot in my heart for Jason Moss, a longtime Edmonton Eskimo quarterback. Ended up being our coach, came up through our organization, single handedly got us our Grey Cup with Ricky Ray in Calgary when he took over the Western Conference final. Um, Ricky Ray wasn't having a great game, and they gave the ball to Jason Moss, who was the backup quarterback. And you saw him in between drives, like just giving it to everybody in the offense and just being a fucking leader. And I'll never forget that. I was talking to a fella at the game on Sunday, and he remembered that too. And he goes, "Yeah, I like Jason Moss. I remember that." So he's the coach of the Alouettes. I feel bad for him. Um, I don't really care who wins, but congratulations, Saskatchewan. That's all I got to say about that. Um,
But you
you
were
said,
you were talking about the halftime shows over the last several years. It's been mostly American acts. I actually looked it up. Last year was the Jonas Brothers. They are not Canadian. Green Day, they are not Canadian. We've
no,
got, and then we have the Lumineers. They're American, but the headliners were the Arkells, who are Canadian. Keith Urban was in 2019. Alicia Cara, she is Canadian, and she was in 2018. And Shania Twain, she's obviously Canadian, and she was 2017. I remember watching that halftime show, and she was gooned. It was
well,
funny.
you were stalking her probably back then, or
No, 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 no. I was 2017. I was living here. No, that was 20. Yeah, 2017. I was here. I wasn't stalking her back then. Um,
or that you
it
remember
was way
which years they
before.
were.
It it was when she first came out early on. Those are the stalking
Let's
days.
see, 2017. No, no, I didn't get charged.
No, no,
No,
no.
it was.
I didn't follow her around then. Um, but yeah, there's so many great Canadian acts that they like. I get if they want to bring someone like Machine Gun Kelly in, but he could open and and then have a strong Canadian act. Like there's so
You
many
know, you
good Canadian acts that you could have. Headstones. We
yeah,
got, Danko Jones. We've got so many, and these are newer bands that you can get. And like,
Arkells are a great example. They're great.
they're awesome. They're like,
I like Arkells. My kids like Arkells. They're Canadian. Um, and like I think they got a new album coming out. It just boggles the mind. Like who the fuck is behind this? And it's like, um, it
but
like if I had any
I
say
guess
at
it's
all,
kind of, I guess it's kind of hard because because I remember talking to someone, they don't pay the bands to be there.
I'm not
So
surprised.
you gotta find a band that will do it for free. And it's like someone like Randy Bachman, and the Guess Who, Burton Cummings isn't doing it for free. Um,
Like, like fuck. Like I
but
like who wouldn't do it for free if you're Canadian?
there's so
Like
many
I'm
like I'd go there to watch Nickelback. Like I like
eh,
you might not be a Nickelback fan. Actually, Nickelback did 2011.
yeah.
BTO did it in 2010.
Well, like I'm gonna put on my DCAT.
Okay.
Um, like back in the day, um, when we ran Bear Country, it was the biggest party on campus at the end of September, and it was all Deeks doing all the work. The only people that weren't Deeks that put that whole thing, and we're talking about a show for 4,000 people at the Butterdome. And every single year, like we had a band budget, we hired and paid whatever, and like you get a list of what it costs for every band that you're going to hire, and you have a budget for that. That's when I discovered this is like 30 years ago, but Rush was like 120 grand for like one night. Um, and like but it goes down from there. And there are so many great Canadian bands that played Bear Country back in the day. Headstones did it twice. We met all the guys. They're good
I
guys.
love Headstones. They're
Yeah,
awesome.
me too. Blue Rodeo did Bear Country one year.
They're
Biff
great
Naked,
guys too.
Biff Naked.
Oh, Biff Naked, she's awesome.
I Mother Earth. I mean, there's no shortage, and from generation to generation of Canadian acts that you get them to come, and then you got this jerk off like Machine Gun Kelly. Like, someone's gonna have to explain to me how that fucking makes sense or aligns with the whole Canadiana angle. But I think that we're a lost culture anyway, and I don't want to be pessimistic, so I'll leave it there.
But yeah, and Angie and I had that same conversation about that and going, why him? Like,
Yeah.
there's and by the way, I need to retract something that I said that Burton Cummings would not do it for free, uh, because he did do 1991,
Well, there you
which
go.
was a long time ago. But yeah, like there's so many good Canadian acts, and even popular ones, both country, like rock, like whatever.
Yeah.
Why Machine Gun Kelly? Why Jonas Brothers? Why
Yeah.
are we getting like you need to get if it's a Canadian event, I get I get Machine Gun Kelly Super Bowl, he's American. But why here? That I don't get.
I
It
mean,
it
the thing is, like, the whole point of Grey Cup, like, I like, I talk to people about this on Sunday too. It's like I grew up when Grey Cup was a thing, when we were more cohesive as a society, as a culture, and we had more shared values. And it was like it didn't matter if you were in Edmonton or Medicine Hat or fucking Saskatoon or Kelowna or wherever. People had Grey Cup parties and they celebrated not just the game or their team, but Canadiana. And we don't
like
have that anymore. And I lament, I
like
lament its passing, but it is what it is. And it's like,
my
okay, well, let's
family
do something Canadian. And then you got some like 25, 30, 35-year old marketing fucking person that goes, what's that? You know?
like my family, like my dad wasn't into sports, my mom was, so we never used to do that kind of stuff. But my friends did. I used to go to my friend Dave, and Super Bowl and Grey Cup, and his family would have a big, snacks all over the place. We'd sit and we'd watch the game, and it was so much fun. They'd have friends over, and their friends had kids, and but me and Dave, we used to sit and watch the game because you were closer to the food, and
Yeah, like I
but
guess
but
everybody has something that motivates them.
but it was an event, and we need to
That's all I'm
have
saying.
more Canadian content. It like, but again, this is coming from a radio guy that was forced to play Canadian content. But at Super Bowl, it needs to be it's an event to be proud to be Canadian. Like the halftime show in Winnipeg. could have easily had BTO or BTO
Guess who?
or the Guess Who. They're from Winnipeg for crying out loud.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like
You know who else is an awesome band from Winnipeg? The Watchmen. They played Bear
and
Country. Those
and
guys are
and
awesome
uh,
dudes too.
and Tea Party. Tea Party,
Mhm.
they're awesome. They're from Winnipeg.
All those Tea Party played Bear Country too, I think. All those guys we met when we did Bear Country, and there wasn't a single one of them that I met through the years of us doing that that wasn't an awesome dude. Like that weren't good guys. Just really nice, fucking good Canadian guys. And there is a culture there underneath all that shit. And and I wish we would celebrate it more because then we'd share it more and then it would define us more. But we don't do that anymore, and that's too bad. I'll leave it at that. Uh, unless you had anything to add, Jimmy.
Actually, I'm wrong. Tea Party isn't from Winnipeg. They're from Toronto, but they're still Canadian. And they'd be a great. They're awesome. I've seen them
Yeah.
live a bunch of times. They would have done a great halftime show. But
Oh yeah, big time.
but we're dwelling way too much on that.
Yeah, yeah, I
But
know, eh? Like the funeral's
it's
over. We're done mourning.
like it's so dumb um that they don't have more Canadian acts in. But it, I understand when setting up stuff that whether or not they can fit into their schedule, but there's got to be someone in Canada that's a popular band that could have done that show. They plan
Like
it to like a year ahead.
we haven't even made a detailed list or anything, but like even of all the bands that we mentioned, and we're not talking about, my Uncle Bob's outfit from fucking Stony Plain. Like we're talking about mainstream Canadian acts that we all know about. And and we left a shit ton out like Gowan, Parachute Club, Platinum Blonde. I mean, that's of a time. Like yeah, I won't even bother. Point being is that there's
But
no way that you
but there's
couldn't have
also
an act that most people would have known, like a lot more than most people know Machine Gun Kelly, that actually was Canadian in a celebration of the Canada that we used to know. Like you had one job, CFL.
I I'm I don't agree with you on many things, but this is one I do. Is like as you said, like there's so many, and there's newer artists too. Like they're saying that they want a younger crowd. Well,
Beaches,
there's
beaches,
Headstones, Crash Test Dummies, Theory of a Dead Man,
Theory of
Danko
a Deadman,
Jones,
Big Wreck,
Mary,
fucking Big Wreck. Are you
Mariana's
kidding me?
Mariana's Trench. If they're aiming for a younger crowd, Mariana's Trench is a perfect. They're Canadian. There's Glorious Sons. I would definitely watch a Glorious Sons halftime show. They're awesome. I've seen them live so many times. They're such a great band. But
Not Glorious
and there's
Sons.
so many
Not Glorious
Glorious
Sons.
Sons are awesome.
No,
What are you
something.
talking about?
Uh.
Glorious Sons are out of Kingston, Ontario.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I'm thinking of something else. Sons. Um.
You're thinking of One Bad Son.
Nope. Um. Uh.
But Glorious
My
Sons, they're out
my
of
name
Kingston,
my name my
Ontario.
name my neighbor represents them. They're from
Oh,
Saskatchewan.
yes. They're they'd be a great halftime show. Um,
Oh, it bugs me. It bugs
but
me that I forgot. I don't want to waste everyone's time trying to remember the name of the band. Um.
I'm blanking too. As soon as you said, and I'm like
Anyway, it
Tractor
doesn't matter.
something.
Yeah. No. It's just
Is it Captain Tractor? No.
No, of course not. Cabin Tractor. You could have Cabin Tractor. Everyone knows all that shit. Well, at least in Western
Yeah,
Canada, these parts we know. I'm just saying,
but
yeah, we don't have to beat the horse is dead.
okay, yeah. The horse has left the building.
Yeah,
Um, so over the past few years. Oh wait, no, we're not done. dude, we're still on sports. Uh,
Yeah. Okay.
just
Yeah. I'll be really.
do a quick touch on the Oilers.
Yeah. The Oilers have like it looked like it's like they're okay. We're at the quarter mark in the NHL season, and it's usually by this time that the Oilers turn things around and start going on a run or whatever. And particularly when you think about playoff fatigue and the realization that we're in game one of 82 and maybe you don't have your best every night, but we've suffered from a massive lack of consistency, and it's really shown on the ice. And every time you think that maybe we're digging out of that sort of hole of mediocrity that we find ourselves in, there's a game like last night where we played Buffalo, who's like the second last team in the NHL, and we lost 5-1. And they started a goalie who was um, playing his fourth NHL game ever, and the center that was assigned McDavid duty was a rookie, and there's just a lot of things wrong with the Oilers right now. People trying to figure it out, but for the most part, I'll just offer my 2 cents, which is that we're terrible in our own zone and we're terrible on our breakouts, um, and we need to really look at our defensive structure. But the Oilers are their record is actually not bad. They're not out of anything. They're sixth in the Western, fourth in the Pacific, or whatever. And there's nothing that they're 9-7-4. It's by no means league beating, but it's basically fucking mediocre. And we expect more from our team at the
But I
20.
have a question. But I have a question. Haven't they in previous years where they end up making it to the playoffs and at least most of the way through, at the beginning of the year, they suck the hind tit and then and
Yeah,
then they get their shit together. And so it's still like, there's still a lot of hockey left in this season.
there. Well, there's 75% of the season left, and the point I suppose that I'm making that's that one could consider a positive is that like we're not out of anything, we're just mediocre right now. And in fact, um, the last 2 seasons we started slow, and it could be attributed to a short off season. A lot of teams ended in April, and we end at the end of June. So there's a lot of teams that had like actually like um, 2 months more repose than us to train and whatever, and not to mention the mental fatigue of going through like basically like a 9 month NHL season where you're playing every second or third day. So there's a lot to that. But having said that, when Chris Knobloch, our current coach, took over the team, we were not in the Stanley Cup Finals. We got eliminated by, I believe it was Vegas, on their way to win the cup, and that was when Knobloch took over about 2 years ago. Is it 2, 3 years ago? And we
I
were
think it
not.
was three.
Yeah, and it was three. And there was and the team started in the same shit fucking way, and that's what got Woodcroft fired. So you know I think maybe it's not just, you can't just use the Stanley Cup final short layoff excuse, because when Jay Woodcroft got like deep sixth, we started slow too, and then Knobloch took over, and then we went on like a fucking serious run and made it to the final that year, and then made it to the final the year after. So
So, so do you think it's a coaching thing?
no, you can't say that. Um, a lot of people might argue that it is. I read everything on our team. Um, put my other hat back on. I read everything about our team, and um, there's one guy in particular, Alan Mitchell, Low Tide. You might know him. You probably know him.
Oh, that
Uh,
I know low tide.
yeah,
Yeah.
he's the nicest dude. Like, I met him. He's such a great guy.
I
Uh,
worked with him.
yeah, I read his blog every day, and I actually met him. I got him to sign his book for me, and he's really honest in his takes, and like he's not even unapologetic. Like he likes discussion, he likes debate, and like particularly into his blog. He writes every morning. Like I read his blog every morning. Like I read the paper. Like I'm like, oh, Low Tide usually comes out about 8:30. Alan Mitchell, his handle is Low Tide. It's lowtide.ca, lowetide.ca,
I
and
didn't even
he's
know. And I worked with him for 3 years. I actually never knew. I just called him Low Tide all the time. Um, and I worked in the same building as him. We party at Christmas parties together, and I always called him Low Tide. And
yeah, he's a great
but
dude,
when you're
man.
but when you're in radio, it's this kind of the same thing as wrestling. Uh, you kind of you kind of learn to uh call them by their handle, so that
Yeah,
like by their stage name rather than their real name,
yeah,
because so that you don't, you know, use their real name
flip up
in public.
online or yeah, on air or
Yeah.
whatever. Anyways, and again, I don't want to belabor this. Like we got lots to talk about, but I told you it'd be a long one. But like he suggested that whatever we're doing for our system, he's like either the players don't care, they're actively tuning it out. Um, I can't remember like exactly, but it was um, or the players don't know the system, they're actively tuning out the system, or they can't execute the system. And we're talking about in our own end because it seems like when our D finally get the puck because we're not strong enough on the puck in front of the net, that our outlet passes are like the forwards have already flown the zone, and so you have to make like a 50-foot pass instead of like a 7-foot pass or a 10-foot pass. And it seems like we're disjointed in our own end. So and believe me, I haven't heard anybody. I'm not online 24/7, but I haven't seen too much clamoring for Knobloch's head or anything like that. But I have the closest thing I've seen to that is the suggestion that maybe we would need to rethink our system for which the coach is responsible. But again, remember it's 25% of the season. We're still obviously like we don't suck. We're just mediocre, and this team should not be mediocre. So before everyone wrings their hands and cuts their
but
own throats,
but in their defense, in is the fact that some key players that did great things last year are no longer with us. They were sent to other teams. Like we had some really good play. I can't remember their names, but you know which ones I'm talking,
yeah,
that were sent to other. And so they need to learn. They need to learn to gel, as you do with anything. Like when I replace you, I'm going to have to learn how to gel with your replacement. It's
yeah,
like when Johnny comes on board, and or any other bald guy I can find on the street, even some homeless dude. Hey, I'll give him a computer.
the
Um,
guy that
you
stole my
know,
scooter.
the guy that stole your scooter, if he had no hair,
Hey, you're
then
bald.
you're bald. Do you want to be part of a podcast? I'll
Like
buy
the
you
bar
dinner.
is down.
Um,
The bar is down here.
like, like I don't. It's like I'm just saying. But on a different note, let's get into something else. What are we going to get into? Let's talk. Do we want to talk about? Let's. Let me ask you a question, Mooney. Have you ever? What kind of stuff do you collect, or have you collected over the years? Anything?
Guitars,
You have okay, like not coins, not comics, like
stocks and guitars. Like I have a portfolio. Um, that's not
okay.
necessarily collecting. That's just there's no loyalty. There's
That
no
that's called it. That's
passion.
called in. That's okay. So why I went that way is I've collected comic books, knives over the years. But I saw these two articles this week that were really cool. One is Canada is bringing out a Snoopy coin, and it's like so it's all coins. UK is releasing a Freddie Mercury coin and Canada as Snoopy. I I don't collect expensive coins, but I do collect uh currency, I guess. Like if I go to a different country, I keep some of the coins from that country. Like I have coins from Iceland. I have coins from pesos. I have older Canadian coins. But have you ever been into coins at all?
Nope,
Like
nope.
the Snoopy coin, I kind of want it, other than the fact that it's a lot of money because it's solid silver. Um,
Well, like see those limited edition coins or whatever. Um, I wonder about that now, and let me explain. Like, um, we're almost a cashless society, and believe me, like I do not want universal what is it, like the central bank digital currency. I don't want any of that shit. I mean, our Interact cards are just fine for me, but like very few people have cash, much less change anymore. So if they have a Snoopy currency or like a Snoopy
but
coin
it's
or
but
a Freddie Mercury coin,
it's for collecting, I think, because it's solid silver.
yeah. So
Like it's 99% silver,
yeah.
the
So
Snoopy coin.
my question is like how many of them are they making? Because that's what determines future value, right? Or are you like when you say you collect coins or whatever, are you like I'm buying this because anticipate
No,
that it's going to be worth X in 10 years or
something to leave to your kids or grandkids or something is kind of, but yes and no. Um, Actually, that Snoopy coin is you have to. It's $160 to buy,
and what's the currency of the
and
coin?
they're it's a euro, €10, but it's done at the Royal Canadian Mint in Winnipeg, and they're only doing. I just saw it, 5,000 coins,
And how much is it?
uh, 160 bucks, but it's
Yeah,
solid silver.
I could see me buying that for my grandkid when he's my age.
But
Like,
and it's solid silver. So
yeah, keep talking. I gotta put the oven on.
when you're putting a bun in the oven,
No, like your
uh,
old man on Valentine's Day.
uh, uh, I'm glad my mom doesn't listen to this podcast because he only used to say stuff like that when she would leave the room. But yeah, I don't know. I'm actually more interested myself in the Freddie Mercury coin because because I was a huge fan of Queen.
So was I.
They had
So was I.
great music, and
Like
a lot of anthems.
maybe the greatest showman of all time. I mean,
Oh,
his live aid performance was
like second to none. Like
mhm.
it's the most popular, like probably most watched show. Like even in on YouTube, like
Yeah. But think about
he
this. Think about this for a minute. It's like if you play in a band ever, and like I in my early years because I could sing, I was like lead singer, but I hated it because I didn't like being in front of all those people. But like um the like you want to be a showman. You're like like the perfect um descriptor for a good gig is I had the audience eating out of my hand. and like
Yeah.
I mean that was Freddie Mercury at Live Aid, and probably like countless shows before and after.
Oh,
And now we're not even
he owned
talking
that
about
crowd.
Wembley. We're not even talking about Wembley. We're talking about like fucking, like however many million people that were locked into that. But I saw
Yeah.
the I saw the release, the press release about the Freddie Mercury coin, and all I wondered, I didn't open the link, or I just saw the headline, but I'm like, what image did they use? Like I can't wait to see. Like I don't know if it's like him holding the thing, holding the mic stand or what, but
Or him. Actually, I didn't look at the image either.
yeah.
Uh,
And you remember like all we hear is, like it probably, for me it would be
yeah.
him with his legs like doing that. But
Uh,
when I got diagnosed with diabetes when I was like
oh,
10.
it's where he has, because you know how he had that half mic stand
Hmm.
where it didn't have a bottom,
Yeah, and
and
he was going like
it's
that.
it's but this is where it was down like this, and he
Oh,
was
and he's
kind
like
of,
that.
and
Yeah,
he's like that. Like
yeah,
that's
yeah.
because I'm just looking at the image of the coin. No, not even to his face. It's where he had it between his knee, between his legs, where he was like almost riding it like
Oh,
a broomstick kind of thing.
they had to do
And he
that one, did
says,
they?
actually, no, he doesn't even have. Okay, am I drunk? He's just holding the mic, looking up.
Oh, like that.
Yeah, it's no, but he's holding the mic down low and
Oh,
looking up.
okay. Well, I guess we'll see.
It's
But yeah, my dad
I
got me the Queen album, The Works, when I was in hospital with diabetes when I was I believe it was 11. And that was one of the rec like he brought it as a gift because I was in hospital for 2 weeks. And that was the one with I Want to Break Free and Radio Gaga on it and all that.
oh yeah.
Yeah, and that got like when they were knocking it out of the park with like We Will Rock You, and Bohemian Rhapsody. Like my family were listening to like Dire Straits and the Eagles and shit. And so that actually was my gateway into Queen. And then I got their greatest hits, and then I bought like a night at the opera, and like, yeah, like what a fantastic outfit. And yeah, Freddie
Like
Mercury, like huge loss.
yeah, it, it is a sad loss. And he had such great songs. Because I was what it I
They
do
they
I
had such great songs.
yes, they did as a band. Um, I was watching, like I scroll through YouTube from time to time when I'm bored and drinking. Um, and I was scrolling through, and there was he when he did Under Pressure with David
Oh wait,
Bowie.
yeah.
Yeah, and the beginning of Under Pressure, the dun 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 dun. I can't do it, but and so it was someone they were trying to guess what the song was by the beginning of it, and one person picked it was Ice Ice Baby, like Vanilla Ice stole that
Yeah,
rhythm from
obviously.
Under
Yeah,
Pressure, and
yeah.
the person that was had no idea. But as soon as I hear
Oh,
the
they didn't ask for permission. He didn't ask. He didn't ask for
no,
permission.
oh no,
Oh my fuck! Like, by the way,
I don't
whoever
think
his
you did.
DJ was is like good choice because that's perfect to rap over. And that was basically the hook. That was basically the hook
Yeah,
of the whole song. Like,
yeah, but yeah, like I actually want to get my hands on that Queen coin. I don't.
I would
Like
too.
I'm not.
I'd buy one. I don't know why though. Actually, now that I think about it, like, because like when you were talking about, oh, like for my like to give to somebody, or when I die it's one of my assets or whatever, because you asked me about you collect, and so like the only thing I can think of that I assemble like for my own benefit or gain or want is like stocks and guitars. That's it. um And like my guitars, it would be hard for me to, like, over the years I've refined it. I've gotten rid of ones I didn't want. I got ones I wanted. It evolves, but I'm like locked in. I really like my stable of guitars. Whereas with stocks, and so like if somebody wanted to buy one from me, it would have to be way over market for me to separate myself. Whereas with stocks, I'm like, I might have loyalty to a few companies that pay me dividends, like that I plan to retire on, and I'm like gonna keep that shit. But they're not like my kids. They're like some coin that I really love or some passion that I have. It's like, oh, okay, I bought it at X. I'm gonna sell it at Y. I'm okay with that. So that doesn't really count as a collection.
And but if I was to, leave my collection to family members, I'm just not sure who I'd give my knife collection to. Um, because just saying, like I have 200 plus knives, and when I tell people that, they go, "Are you psycho?" And I'm like,
Let me ask you
"Eh."
this: if you were gonna like there's a website for guitar sales, like if a guy wants to sell like a collection or whatever, like it's called Reverb, and you could sort of itemize your guitars and get offers on them that way. If you were going to do a Reverb for your knives, like would there be any interest at all? Like would you, like, could you put an economic value on those assets that you possess, or like is it just you
I
like
have, I have,
like getting a
I
hard
have
on
no
every time
idea.
you see an ad?
Like I've just like since I was 18, I've been buying different knives, and if I see one that looks kind of cool and it's like got no purpose to me, like it's not like it's not like I carry 200 knives with me when I'm walking around town. Like back in the day when I worked at the radio station at 3, like when I'd have to leave at 5 in the morning, I used to carry a pocket knife in my pocket. And Locke always used to make the comment of, someday I'm going to get a phone call from you that someone tried to attack you. You pulled a knife on them and they stabbed you, with your knife. Um, and he's waiting for that phone call, um, which would probably happen. Um,
You can handle yourself. I've been kicked in the nuts by you. I think you can handle yourself.
but there's the problem with selling. I just looked it up. There's legal restrictions on it, depending on the region.
Oh
Okay, no
yeah, plenty.
switchblades and stuff. I have no illegal knives. I have no illegal knives like switchblades, but I do have assisted open, which is
Yeah,
borderline.
my
Um,
brother-in-law, you know Diener.
yeah,
Diener collects knives like you. You guys have probably talked about that. Like, and he got me one, and it's like kind of ceramic or whatever. And like, I just leave it by my front door, like just
like
in
like I
case. And but then I bought one for my daughter. Um, not so that she'd ever have to use it, but just so that she'd have more confidence, like riding the
is it
bus,
is it
kind of
an,
thing.
is it is it an assisted open?
Yeah.
You know what I
I,
mean
I,
by
I, I
assisted
no,
open.
actually, I don't know what you mean. I just mean that she could grab it and just like flick a switch and it opens.
Okay, so how this one works? Okay, so it's got this knobby thing on the back end,
Yeah,
and you just
yeah.
and you
That's
and you
that's what
flick, and
that's
it's
that's what the one that my brother-in-law Diener got for me and that I got for my daughter.
because it's gray area. Like it's like one hand open knives are kind of in Canada are a little shaky on legality, but
Yeah, and then like by the way too, like I was thinking about it since, and it's like why didn't I just get her pepper spray or whatever? But it's just more about um giving the individual the confidence to know that
confidence.
Yeah, to
And
not be scared in a situation, whatever.
like I back in the day when I used to walk a lot at night, I used to keep one like a knife on me, and if I saw something shady happening, I always would move it from my pants pocket to my jacket pocket, so
Yeah,
it was closer
yeah.
to that. And but I also was taught like situational awareness a lot, like where I'm looking around and going, okay, so if somebody comes at me, okay, there's a stick there, there's a fire hydrant there. So the fire hydrant, I'd slam their face against it. Um, or, different things like that. It's a
Well,
different way of looking at things,
it's kind
but
of like much like the knife that I'm talking about for my daughter, like the idea of a pepper spray or whatever. It's like this is the degree to which I'm pro gun. So like I have guns. I protect my domicile, my house. But to be 100% truthful, and I'm glad that I, at least in a limited way, have the right to do so. Everything's under lock. Everything is like fingerprint, all that shit. And it's like I legally possess firearms, but I hope that the only time that I ever use them is when I'm at the range.
or hunting, if you ever
Yeah,
hunt.
I don't hunt. It's hunting's not my thing. I'm just saying. That's why
No,
I have them. And
no,
it's like,
but
but God forbid someday that I actually have to use it to protect my domicile, I'll be like fucking grateful as fuck that I had it. Even though I never
that's
wanted to use it in that capacity.
that's true said. Okay, so we went from coins to killing people.
Like with always with the iPad and the looking down and like you got an assignment and like like I'd like to ask you. There's some things I saw in the prep, and by the way, I'm not going like this. Um,
I know because your
like
camera's on your computer, which is where
oh,
your
fair
camera
enough,
is.
yeah. But so like you had a few journal entries and thoughts and whatnot.
Okay, so no, I actually have journals. Like one of the journals, my personal journal, I actually started journaling after my dad passed because my counselor at the time said, write your thoughts down, and then you go back after the years, and it's if it's changed, like the frequency of the sad posts compared to the positive posts, and so forth. And so I have my personal journal, I have my drunk thoughts journal, which we always talk about, which we have a drunk thoughts with Jimmy when I write stuff down when I'm drinking. And then I have, because I used to do a Star Wars podcast,
This is
I
a
have
Star Wars journal.
so I have a Star Wars journal. But then I just recently started a
A
Star
fourth
Wars
journal.
watching a fourth journal. So I have personal journal, drunk thoughts, Star Wars journal, and then watching Star Wars while drinking journal. And
So is it? Does
because
hang on? Does that fall under the Star Wars? It's like a
no,
sub
no,
journal.
it's totally separate. It's totally
Every journal
separate.
gets its own headline, right? They're
It-
all
It's 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 their own document. Like I actually have that in my Google Drive. I have a personal journal, drunk thoughts with Jimmy journal, um, Star Wars. That's Star Wars note. I have it under Star Wars notes, but it's pretty much a journal. And then Star Wars while drinking.
sorry. You have like see, okay.
I have four journals.
If we
Does
don't
does
respect like what Jimmy has to say, we can rest assured that Jimmy respects what Jimmy has to say because each journal
yes?
gets a fucking headline in his Google Drive.
It's their own document, so then
By the way,
it's
I got to hang
easier.
on. Every time I look at you with that duster, like I want you to shave your head.
Well, oh, you really don't
Like
like
no,
the.
no. I just think that
Oh,
duster is
but
golden. It's fucking
no, but
golden. Like take
dude,
it down to the wood. Like
dude,
you're badass.
I only grow the mustache in November. I shave it in
I know.
December.
It's such a cop's duster. Like and with the shaved head, like my
Yeah,
God.
dude. Okay,
Like you know how good you'd
dude,
look?
I like I'm feeling like I'm turning you on right now. It's actually kind of creeping me out a little bit. Um,
Put that in one of your 10 journals.
I like my long hair. It's a thing.
I don't
Um,
want to see that long. Like it's basically a fro. Like if you okay, here's the proposition. Either like just grow it out, like for the like till June, or take it down to the wood
I'm growing it
in
out till
November.
June, because no, I'm growing it out till June.
Okay,
No,
so
no, the
can we
hair,
make can we
not
make
the mustache,
obviously not the
not the
stash,
mustache.
but okay, so like what is it, the 18th? So we have like one more cast before the end of the month. So I'm like, that duster
The
is
end
only
of the
gonna get
year.
that duster's the end of the month. Um, that
So yeah,
duster is
yeah.
gonna get the duster is gonna get thicker. Like shave all around it and take it down to the wood just one last time. Like I'll I'll buy all the beers on Friday for you. You do that, and you don't have to do
Well,
it
you're
on
gonna buy all
Friday.
the beers for me on Friday anyway, because
Yeah,
I'm not paying for shit.
it's your birth month.
It's my birthday party. We're gonna get into
Oh,
that in a
listen,
little bit.
no, but listen, seriously, for our
Okay.
next podcast, like I guess it'd be like the 23rd, 25th. Um, take it down to the wood and then grow it out till June. That's because I want to see that duster with like, like
I
you will look like a man not to be fucked with, is all I'm saying.
I already do. Like, have you met me?
So why
Um,
do you need all the knives, fuckface?
just in case. I've actually never had to use. I actually used to carry one on a case on my belt, and some guy
I'm
attacked
sure
me,
you did.
and I kind of fucked him up a little bit.
I'm not
I
surprised.
actually broke I actually broke his leg. Um,
And
like it,
you imagine how much cooler you would have looked doing that
if I had if I
if you
had
had it
the
down to the wood in the cop duster. Come on, come on.
I don't like this. I shave it to there's a reason why I don't shave it to the wood often. I have tons of scars, and you can actually see where my shunt is when
Yeah,
when I shave it down. So I'm in some ways self-conscious of all the scars on my head from falling and
fair
stuff.
fucks.
So I do it sometimes, but I don't do it all the time. But on a different note,
Yeah,
since
okay,
we are
we definitely went. It's the journals. We were at the journals, right?
yeah, we finished the journals. I went through them. Let's get into the fact that Jersey Mike's is coming to frickin' Edmonton. I think it's open already.
Yeah.
It's on the north side of Edmonton. I what it's another sub shop. Uh,
Like
I I
like
kind of
we have like 20 burger shops. Like I'm a sub aficionado. Like the more the better. But where is it?
but it's
We talked about this in the prep, and
okay.
I actually purposely didn't
There's
ask you
one
where.
okay. There's one opening in Fort Sask, one in St. Albert, one in Grand Prairie, and On 100, it's 13320 137th Avenue.
Okay.
So that's in
Yeah.
like on 137th and all those
Yeah.
shops.
It's
One of
like
those over
the
there.
gateway to the north. Like
Yeah,
if you live in central
I
Edmonton.
I'd go there. And there's one like as I said in St. Albert as well. It's actually probably easier to get to the one to St. Albert than it is to get to that one.
Well, where in St.
Um,
Albert?
uh, 835 St. Albert Trail. So that's
I
just
don't know,
straight
man.
north on
Like,
St. Albert. I'm just saying, the cool thing about that is I always try all these new American companies that come to Canada, uh, like with what do we have? We have Popeyes chicken. There's
Chick-fil-A, Chick-fil-A.
Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
They like, and then there was Chipotle.
Chipotle. Carl's
Chipotle
Jr.
is
Carl's Jr. Like
Carl's Jr.
recently dipped their toes in, like,
Yeah, that was a few years ago. First time I
yeah.
tried,
No, I know, I know.
first time first time I tried Carl's Jr. I ordered it on Uber Eats, and I got called at like I did it at lunchtime,
The bag
and
was soaking with grease. It's like dripping down.
no, no, I got surge price because I did it at noon. So
Oh,
so
fuck.
it cost so for a $13 meal, it cost me $27 because of the surge price for
Wow.
delivery.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
But you still have to accept it, so don't blame them. Not for
no, I
nothing.
did. No, I did. But it's just I if I order stuff at lunchtime,
So
I
yeah,
don't do
like
it on.
like I've had like there's a little trick if you've ever been to Vegas, if you're from Edmonton, um, and you're flying home from Vegas. So like you got to take the train to Terminal 3, and then you get up the escalator, and then obviously your gate is to the left. But if you hang a right and you go like I don't know, like maybe like 100 feet, 200 feet, there's a porta porta subs. It's a sub shop. And like I'm
Yep.
a sub aficionado. I love sandwiches. I love subs. And it's called Porta Subs. And you can get a really nice fucking sub, like it's about 10 foot. For about $12. Before you
A
so
10 foot for one person.
sorry, 10 inch. 10 inch, sorry, man.
Okay,
10 inch.
are you drunk? Um,
I'm
and
you know what I meant. You know
I,
what I fucking meant.
I so
Really, like let's not let like we're like a
okay,
buck and
so
a half in. Don't get granular. Like
okay, so a
anyway,
10 inch sub.
porter subs is and it's like they slice the meat. It's like it's how you want it. And then I yanked out, and then all my friends, whoever I'm with, they're like settling down, because we got to wait an hour or two before the flight. And I'm sitting there just like enjoying this. As hungover as I might be on the trip home to Vegas, I'm just like crushing this Porta subs fucking sub. And I did the same in LAX during COVID, because during COVID, and you go to Vegas as much as I do, I had to fly Edmonton, Calgary, LAX, Vegas to go to Vegas. And on the flight home, same thing. And they had um the what's the sub outfit you're talking about? Um,
Jersey Mike's.
yeah, they had a Jersey Mike's at the gate at LAX, and they did the same thing. They sliced the provolone, they sliced the meat, and it was a really good sub. And like the dressing isn't like creamy or shitty. It was like a little bit of balsamic. It was a really nice sub. So I'm happy that they're coming to Edmonton. So yeah, dig in.
I
Like
think what we should do sometime in the next month or so, we should go to this Jersey Mike's and check it out. And we'll do it as a show, and we'll
Crush us
give
up.
our crush a sub. I
Yeah.
like a good sub.
No, you know what? Of all my things, uh, like food wise, I love a good sandwich. Like that's it. I don't. We don't need another chicken outfit in Edmonton. We don't need another burger outfit in Edmonton. I think we're full. Thank you, but I could use another sandwich joint. And no
Hey,
offense to Mores. The Mores makes a nice sandwich on 127th. But and you know, so does the Italian Center. Blah 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 blah. But
well, those the amount of meat they put on that sub at
yeah,
Italian,
you know, like come
that
on,
oh,
fuck out of
it's
here.
no,
So
I'm
so
a fan.
I'm we're not going to pack too much in this Friday for your birthday. So for I know you want to like Jimmy's birthday party is this Friday, um, November 23rd, 22nd, no 21st, November
Yeah, it's only
21st,
it's
November
yeah.
21st at Sherbrooke Pub is Jimmy's birthday. That's where we're all going. And I was thinking like Jimmy, we're gonna go to Julia's first.
So are we meeting at Julian's?
Yes, yes. I'll pick you up.
Hey,
Like we're fucking going to Julian's. I
what?
told everyone 7 at Sherbrooke, but
Oh, I'm willing to start the festivities at 3. Like I'm game
yeah,
for anything, man.
yeah. Like how else will Lisa know at Julian's if we don't tell her?
Yeah, and then I can get my backpack I left there when I was actually I left it downstairs when I went there with my buddy. Uh,
No, but
that'll be
the other thing I was like, oh, how do I incorporate Jersey Mike's into that? But no, we'll do that another time.
yeah, because if we're going from yeah, it's nowhere near each other.
I'm gonna pick you up on Friday, and then we're gonna go to Julian's, and then we're gonna go to the party at Sherbrooke.
Oh, I'm looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun, and
There's a lot of
I
people that are coming already. Like I'm really excited about. Like
it's
our friend from university, like Dirk Goodlaw. He's like just the
oh,
most awesome dude.
Dirk is coming.
Yeah, I got a confirmation from Dirk. I'm so happy about that, and I got to tell you, like, the people that are listening don't know, but when I was doing my MBA, there's a guy that plagiarized off me, and uh,
Do we
like,
want to go there?
like, no, I guess not. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
let's not go there. Let's
But
not
but
go there.
Dirk but
Um,
Dirk but Dirk always knew who the good people were. So
yeah, yeah, we're not going to go through that, but
yeah,
the thing is though is I'm actually looking forward to seeing old Dirker. We haven't seen him much since he got married and has he posts pictures of his daughter
no, and that's awesome. And it's like we support him.
and
You know, like
she's a cutie. Um,
oh yeah, like you never like if you're a good friend, a good brother, a good person, it's like celebrate your friend's successes. Like be happy for their happiness. And by the same token, when they come out for a birthday or whatnot, like
I'm looking forward to it. I have some friends and family coming out as well.
good.
To my cousin Angie, who I don't know if she prefers Angie or Angela. I never asked. She still calls me Jamie, so I'm okay. Um,
Mo's coming.
but oh, Mo's coming.
Oh yeah.
So him and I can make fun of you together. Uh,
Yeah, pretty much.
he's my favorite tag team partner when it comes to making fun of you. Uh, but yeah, so it's Sherbrooke Pub on 118th and St. Albert Trail, and it's next. It's next Friday, so it's
The
the
21st.
21st. Come down, say hi. There's going to be karaoke, right?
Yep.
Is it? There's karaoke and
Yes.
and
Yes.
and a, and a midget um who will probably be drunk, as everybody likes me. Um,
I
but
I like sober
I
Jimmy more.
I prefer you more when I'm drinking. Um,
I'm less prone to get punched in the nuts if you're sober.
True. Uh, but I think about it even when I'm sober. But other than that, is there anything else we want to touch on? We've gone
It's
really long today.
good. Like
Should we?
it's like I haven't really had like a chat. Like do you have drunk thoughts? Like I know that drunk thoughts. I saw that in the prep.
No, no, that was the drunk thoughts. That was part of the journal. That was the
So
journal listing.
why I
I did
have
drunk.
why I have like 20 categories for my.
Like my okay. Let me see if I have any recent drunk thoughts with Jimmy. Um, Actually, some of my drunk thoughts with Jimmy um end up turning into uh Star Wars stuff too. And no drunk thoughts this week.
All right. I never mentioned that we watched Return with no, not Empire. We watched Empire with Caitlin last week. Yeah, but
Caitlin,
we
your
don't have to get
daughter.
in. Yeah, we don't have to get into it.
Okay,
But
no, you brought it up. Okay, speak,
no,
speak. No.
uh,
What was her thoughts?
well, like when the kids were little, like I bought it on like not that I own it, I suppose, but like on Google Play Movies or whatever.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
I own all the Star Wars movies, like and
I have
Kate,
I have I have the DVDs, the Blu-rays, and I think I still have the VHS of the original three Star Wars movies.
yeah, Caitlin was over last week and she was staying over, which we love. Like, I mean, we miss the kids. They're 19, soon to be 20, and so any chance, the more time you get with them, the happier you are. It is what it is. It's the plight of the
And I'm
parents.
I
Like,
met her not that long ago, and I'm so
yeah,
glad
at the
that none
house,
of you,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, and I'm so glad that none of your kids look like you.
Mm.
And they're
Anyway,
probably glad too. Um,
we watched. Uh, yeah, we watched.
Empire.
Yeah, and yeah, no, like it wasn't the first time she'd seen it, but she's like, "Oh, this is what I want to watch." Like, and when you're a kid, you haven't seen them in a bit, because they're becoming an adult. She's 19, it's got a
Yeah, yeah,
boyfriend,
yeah.
school, all that stuff, and they're like, "Okay, whatever." Like, so
Oh, she picked it.
yeah, yep.
And and did she say anything to you during it, or
Well,
did you
yeah,
watch
you
this?
always talk, but like
Did you watch the special edition or the original?
the
Probably the
original.
special edition.
No, it's what I bought.
Uh,
You
when
know
did you
what? One
buy
thing
it?
I noticed is that like Graph was too old. Like even though Caitlin had seen it, like she had only seen it when she was little, so like she might not have remembered. And Graph was like, Darth Vader's his father, right? And I'm like no, that
Why?
was the whole crescendo. That
Why
was
do
the whole
you do
crescendo
that?
of the end. Like I'm not
Why?
a nerd like you about that.
But why?
But I
No,
was like,
you can't ruin that shit. You can't ruin that shit for someone who hasn't seen it. And you're watching the movie, and
I know, right? Like
okay,
Andrew and I
let
were
me.
Andrew Andrew and I were watching a show, like a series on Netflix or
And
Amazon. She
and
no,
she
she
saw
had
it.
to go to bed. She had to go to bed. Um, I because of work or whatever, and I'm like, well, this is actually before the Grey Cup thing. So this is like Saturday night after we got whatever. It doesn't matter. And I'm
Yeah,
like, well, watch it tomorrow. I'll finish it tonight. There's like an episode and a half left. And we were watching it last night, and she's like, "So what's going on with this?" And I'm like, "I'm not fucking telling you. I'm not spoiling it for you, right? Like if there's a hockey game going on right now, like, and I have it on PVR, and you called me or you texted me, I'd be like, just so you know, I'm not live. I'm blah blah blah, right? It's the same principle,
yeah, yeah,
right? Like you don't want to fuck up that person's experience.
100%. And okay, so I watch a lot of YouTube. I saw an interview like dealing with the Empire Strikes Back that you're talking about,
Yeah,
and when the script, like, it was an interview with Mark Hamill, and there was only two people that knew what the line was, were "I am your father," and and what's his name? George Lucas
like you
told
mean
Mark Hamill
sorry. Do you mean when they were filming it?
when they were like when they gave the script out.
Yeah,
It
like
it's
point
it
point being, it's like the minute that they're filming it, the only people that know what's going to happen are who
yes, and then
who
they were it was Mark Hamill. It was the director, and the
George
director was,
Lucas.
I think, no, he was the producer and the writer, and I think Mark Kirshner or Mike
Whoever,
Kirshner.
yeah.
It was a Kirshner, um, was the director,
So it was like
and
Lucas, Mark Hamill, and the director.
and 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 Lucas says, if this gets out, we know it was you, and he didn't share it to anyone. So I guess they were at the premiere, and he was sitting next to uh, Harrison Ford, who played Han Solo,
Hang on, who
and
was sitting? Who said he? Like Mark
Mark
Hamill?
Hamill. Mark
Yeah,
Hamill was sitting next to Harrison Ford
at the
while
Oscars
watching
or whatever. Yeah.
no, at the premiere,
Oh, okay.
because they didn't see the full movie until the premiere.
Yeah.
Like the actors, a lot of them don't see it until the premiere, and then he's watching it and he goes, "Why didn't you tell me that?" Like because he didn't tell anybody because he wasn't allowed to, and
So Harrison
and
Ford turns to Mark Hamill and
and
goes,
goes,
"Why didn't
"Why
you
didn't
tell
you
me?"
tell me that?" Yeah, it was
Like
awesome.
then, but only after he saw.
I saw it on the movie. So at the end of
And
the
do you know
movie, he
what?
finds out. It was
Like
awesome.
like like there is no shortage of platitudes, or there's it's impossible for me to like give out more platitudes to my beloved partner Andrea. Like I love her so much. But there's another thing that like before she spilled the beans, like Caitlin and Kieran, like my kids, they saw Star Wars Empire like Return when they were like 5, 6, 7. Like it was part of my thing. So you get TV time, you'll watch that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're not watching like some kind of Netflix trans thing or whatever, right? And so I already told you that Andrea kind of spilled the
Spill the
beans,
beans. Yeah.
and like even like at the beginning of like Empire, when they start talking about Darth Vader, Andrea goes to Caitlin, in German, Darth Vader means dark father.
Oh, I, I, like if
actually,
she's seen him, like she would be a horrible person to watch a movie with. And I love Andrea. I actually
yeah,
like her more than I do you. Um, but I couldn't watch a movie for the first time that she has seen. Um, probably for that reason.
yeah,
But let's change the subject.
yes,
This was the
definitely.
bald. Yeah, this was the Balding Short of It podcast. I am James P. White. That is Chris Mooney. Join us this Friday, which is the
First,
21st,
yep.
21st at Sherbrooke Pub. We're
Jimmy's
celebrating my
birthday. Join us.
51st birthday.
Join us for Jimmy's 51st birthday. Like all of us that know and love him, you know,
Yeah.
or
And
in my case, hate him or whatever.
uh, I, I
No,
tolerate you.
I love you,
Uh,
brother.
I,
But we'll be
I
there on
love you. I
Friday.
love you too sometimes.
There's going to be karaoke. There's going to be a lot of people that are peripheral friends of the cast, like friends of us, and so many stories to tell. And
Oh,
I know personally I'm
it's
looking
gonna be
forward to it.
it's gonna be a lot of fun. If you can't make it, we should be getting pictures and video from the night that we can share next time. But until then, see you at the next episode, which is 23. Is it
Yeah,
23?
it's yeah, episode 23. Yeah.
Okay, we'll
Wow.
see you next time. And 23 episodes, baby, and we haven't been shut down. Uh, see you next time.